Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Monday's lesson as we talk about the role that free will plays as a basis for love. I think by now most people understand that in order for love to exist, it has to be freely chosen. For instance, if I were to walk up to a person and pull out a gun and point it at their head, and I ordered them to love me, or I would shoot them, do you think that in that moment, that person would actually be able to love me? Or they might say that they love me and work very hard to try and convince me that they love me, but the truth is, you cannot force somebody to love you. The moment you bring force into the equation, love, it's lost. Okay, but why didn't God just program us to love Him? After all, He is God. So why didn't He create us with a fail-safe that would prevent us from rebelling, against Him? This, too, is an age-old question that many people ask. As a matter of fact, the great Christian apologist and defender of Christianity, C.S. Lewis, once asked, why would God create beings who could say no to Him, knowing full well the pain and suffering that choice could lead to? In other words, Lewis is asking, why in the world would God create beings with free will, knowing full well that they could use that freedom and that free will to rebel against Him? Why would God take that chance? And here's what Lewis concluded. Because without free will, there can be no love. If God is love, then in order for love to be authentic and real, we must be free to both accept and reject that love, regardless of the consequences of that choice. It actually makes perfect sense when you look at it from the perspective of authentic love. As the lesson points out, none of us want to be in a relationship with a robot because they are incapable of expressing and receiving love. Who wants that? Sure, you can program Siri to say, I love you, or a robot to say the same, but saying I love you doesn't actually mean I'm capable of loving you. Nobody wants that kind of relationship because we are made for authentic, loving relationships. And without them, emotionally, we suffer. Now, if we long for authentic, loving relationships, then how much more does God, who is love, long for authentic, loving relationships with us? And let's be clear here. It's not that God simply chooses to love or acts lovingly. He actually is love, and as such, why would God subject Himself to anything less than the real thing? This was the kind of relationship that God wanted with all of His relationship, including Lucifer. Make no mistake, God did not intend for Lucifer or Adam and Eve to use their free will to say no to Him. That was their choice. And unfortunately, the choice of so many people today, God wanted Lucifer and our first parents to experience authentic love for all eternity. That was the plan. But Lucifer, well, he had other plans, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Take care, and God bless.